Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And we always like to check in to find out what's going on with our friends to the south, as the port is so very important to us. We check in with Chett Chaisson, the executive director of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission. Welcome, Chett. How are you?
Thank you very much for having me again, Keith.
I appreciate it. Listen, man, we're all talking, I know, about this kind of 1 year since Ida and what it's done. We always like to get updates from you. Give us a little bit of an update on how things are going at the port and where things stand for you guys.
Yeah, look, I'm very excited to tell you today that there is work taking place at our administrative offices here in Cutoff. We're finally getting that moving and work is taking place. So we're excited to have a new roof put on that building and the entire inside of that basically redone because of a considerable amount of damage during the storm while we were in the building. And we've
Right,
talked about that in the past.
right.
But again, just it kind of just helps you to feel better about where we're going and what we're doing whenever we have, this kind of work and progress. So very proud of that. We continue to get the work done that we need over at the airport on the facilities. We've completed some of that work, repairs there, but continue to move forward towards repairing everything we have over at the airport as well. And then down at the port, working on, we have contracts in place and we're going to, complete the construction and repairs of all the facilities we have in the port at our Emergency Operations Center, our Port Fourchon Operations Center, our maintenance shop that we have back there, and all of the wharves that were damaged in the marinas in the port, as well as the public boat launch bathroom that all of the ramp area, the ADA compliant sections of that were damaged for the storm. So all of those projects are underway now, and we're certainly excited about it.
Well, it's so very interesting that you mentioned that. I know, and there's, thousands of other people know what it's like to finally get your roof on. And so, listen, it's been a long time coming. We're talking about a year later, but that's what we found with a lot of these businesses because the focus has been on obviously getting people in their homes back. But this is your other home, right? So,
Yeah,
Cutoff being able to get the roof on is just really exciting news,
that's correct. This is, I spend more time here than I do at home.
right?
As we're displaced just like everyone else is right now. We were very fortunate to have had another building to kind of cram ourselves into, so we can operate uh, very quickly after the storm. But just continuing to move forward and continuing to have progress. We still have a building that needs to come down. That
Right,
has a big hole in the roof. Our old Port Complex building
right.
that we initially were operating out of back in the early 70s up till about 2004. And that building took considerable damage, and just had a meeting earlier this week with FEMA saying, hey, look, this community looks to us to be a leader in repair, in recovery. And every time I get asked about why this building is still something hadn't been done with it, all I can say is FEMA won't let us. I don't want to say that anymore. So we're hoping that will be at least authorized to move forward with the demolition of that building in the near future.
Right, because we know we have to go through the application process to be able to get those things done and kind of talking with them and going through the red tape, if you will, but there's a process and we have to follow it. And so, speaking of process, tell us where we are with some of the restrictions and some of the things that you're allowed to do and where we are with some of the things that are functioning in the Gulf through the port.
So, the port is busy. Our customers, our tenants are continuing to service the Deepwater Gulf of Mexico in our energy production. Um, Unfortunately, you can read in articles as well, but I'll tell you that, the permits, even though they're authorized to continue to give permits, those permits are being issued at a very slow pace.
Mm.
So that's kind of worrisome as we move forward into the future because the slower the pace of these permits, the slower the pace of actually having and awarding leases will reduce our production at some point in the Gulf of Mexico, when really we need to be adding to our production so we can continue to serve and provide the energy needs for our country.
Yeah, and I know it's one of those things that's kind of a daily or weekly battle about being able to get those approved. And so we appreciate the fact that y'all are always fighting for that, trying to be able to get those leases approved so that we can get the production that we need so that we can continue to sustain the country and nationally and internationally with what you provide through the port. It's still alarming that you provide so much of that commerce that goes throughout the world.
That's correct. And you know, as we continue to speak, and we've talked about it before on this program, but as you see it in the media, you know, they keep talking about an energy transition. I think here we're not calling it an energy transition. It's an energy addition. We need oil and gas. We know we need that, but we also need to provide for the future more energy. And so if that's offshore wind, if that's solar, whatever that may be, it's going to be better, and we can provide all of the energy we need for our country. So let's call it an energy addition rather than an energy transition.
What a great term. I will tell you, I will start doing that right now. I will add that energy addition rather than transition in the vernacular, because that's basically what it is. Chett, we can't thank you enough for your time coming on and doing that. And congratulations on moving forward a year in and getting your homes back together.
Thank you.
All right, Chett, take care. All right, and again, that's Chett Chaisson. So very glad that he provides us with so many updates and the valuable work that they do at Port Fourchon. Guys, don't go anywhere. When we come back, a whole lot more Bayou Time.